Welcome back to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. I'm your host, Kaitlin Hansen.
And I'm Kelsie Grossen.
Kelsie, I'm so excited that you're here with us today.
Thank you. I'm actually really excited to do this.
It's going to be so good. So this is her first time on the podcast. So I'm just going to have her, before we get started, she's going to share her birth story. But I want her to just tell a little bit about herself so that you all can get to know her a little bit better.
Yeah. I work at Freshly Picked. I'm the social media coordinator there. I've been married to my husband, Cameron, for almost 4 years this July.
Love it.
And we have a 21-month-old.
Yeah.
Is that how old he is? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, you do.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a lot of fun. We love him. He's
Cute.
so cute.
And then remind me his name.
Wells.
Yep. That's like on my top list.
No
like
way.
For baby boy names.
Oh my gosh. I fell in love with it.
It's so cute. Does
Boy
he have a
names are
middle
hard.
name?
It's Cameron.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute. Okay, that's so cute. Okay, well, this is perfect because we're going to have you go into your birth story. So just kind of start out from not from the beginning, but like when you were, did you go into labor? Did your water break? Did you get induced?
I got induced unexpectedly, actually. So
Really?
yeah, I went in for one of my OB appointments on a Monday. And he was like, he's measuring really big. So we're in our last appointment, he's like, you're measuring pretty big. We may have to take him earlier. I was like, fine.
Yeah.
I went into the next appointment and he was like, oh, it's either going to be today or tomorrow. You choose.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh.
Were you all ready?
Yeah. Luckily I was ready. I'm a planner.
Same.
So I had stuff ready in advance. And especially since knowing that he's been measuring big, I was like, okay, he's going to come early.
And then how many weeks were you in that?
I was 3 weeks early.
Oh, 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to the appointment and my husband actually started a new job that day.
Oh my gosh.
So luckily it was a company that he's worked at before. So it wasn't too bad. But I remember going to that appointment and he had to be there at work. He couldn't go to the appointment with me. So I went to his work and I was like, guess what?
Guess what? They need me to come back.
Guess what? You're not going to work tomorrow.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I decided to do it the next day because I was like, I got to go to work. I got to tell him I'm going.
Right.
So yeah, very unexpected.
Okay, that's so fun. And then, so you showed up to the hospital and then they just immediately took you back.
Yeah. So I, by the way, love the fact that I was induced.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's bad to say.
No, I don't think it is. Especially, I've actually talked to so many people. And if you're type A planner, it's so good for that.
I love it.
For that person. Because it's okay, you have everything ready and you can just show up and go.
And they gave us a time frame of when they were going to call. They were sometime in the morning between 5 a.m. and I don't remember.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay. So they called at 6 or maybe it was 5.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, hey, come in at 6:30. So I was like, good. And it was so nice.
Gave you a buffer.
Yeah. It was nice to wake up. I showered. I did my makeup. I was like, this is wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
I'd way prefer this.
Isn't that so funny too? I'm with both of mine, I just strolled up to the hospital with curled hair.
Oh my gosh, so did I.
Yeah. And I'm glad that I did that because just for pictures and memories, you want to remember it. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm happy that I got I not got my hair and makeup done.
Yeah.
That I did my hair and makeup.
And it also makes you feel you already feel gross.
Yeah.
Being in a hospital.
Yes.
Why do I want to feel gross everywhere else?
No, you don't.
Yeah. So I was really happy that I at least smelled good.
Yes. Look good, feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a person being down there. I want to make sure everything's in order.
1000%.
Yeah. I loved it. I really did. So it was great being able to do that. Go into the hospital. They gave me Pitocin. Yeah. It was great up until I decided that I wanted to feel what a contraction felt like.
Oh gosh, I did the same thing.
You did?
Yes.
That was a dumb decision.
Yeah. I waited for my epidural.
I did too.
Because I'd had kidney stones before,
I never had that.
While I was pregnant, and people were like, "Oh, it's comparable to birth or whatever." So I was like, "Oh, let's just see." I I couldn't even talk. I was like,
"Oh my gosh!"
So have all the respect in the world for people that go unmedicated.
Oh my gosh, I could never. Could never. My pain tolerance is pretty high.
Yeah,
I was in hell.
Were you pretty dilated when you got there?
Yeah. Well, so I was pretty fast dilating from appointments even.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I think I was like at a 3 or 4.
Okay, great.
So I was like, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
And then they gave me the Pitocin and I was like, well, I kind of want to know what a contraction feels like because my didn't wait for contractions to come. So I don't know what they feel like. And that was dumb. And I'm never going to do it again.
You're like, I got that little taste and now
I got the taste.
And now I know.
Now the next time I'm going in, like the minute I go into the hospital, I'm going to say, please send the epidural person my way.
Oh my gosh, yes. Did you like getting the epidural?
Yeah, it wasn't as scary as I thought. Like
same. I feel like people like talked it up and I was like expecting the worst. And I loved it. I thought it was like the coolest thing.
And honestly, I think because the contraction feeling was so terrible, like I was ready for that needle.
Yeah.
Like it was hard because I remember, it might be TMI, but
no, nothing's TMI here.
I didn't want to poop on the table.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I am one of those people where like, if I go to the bathroom, I can force myself sometimes
same.
too. So I'm like, I feel like it's gonna happen. So I had the feeling, and this was before the epidural person, whatever he's called, came in. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, try to poop, so then I don't have to worry about it. Nothing came, and I was hunched over in the bathroom, like in excruciating pain.
No,
I was hurting so bad, and I was like, all right, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, I need my epidural now. I was like in so much pain, and so then when they finally gave it to me, I was just so relaxed, and I was like,
just like instant relief.
Yeah, and I was like, hopefully it doesn't happen. And then they like had to give me the epidural, and in between contractions, they're like, please don't move or flinch, and I'm like, okay, like that's gonna be hard.
Oh my gosh,
it was fine.
Did they have to give you multiple doses of Pitocin?
Yeah, so they do like a scale system, and I got to a 10, which is the highest you can go.
Yeah.
So like, I felt accomplished with you. I don't know.
No, that's awesome.
I was like, okay, that's great. I got all the way to there. Now give me the epidural.
Yeah. Did you feel like it was pretty chill, like until you were ready to push?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. After I had that, we watched a movie.
Like, I love it.
I had the shakes. Did you have shakes with your epidural?
So I'm like trying to even remember. So I ended up having emergency C-section.
Oh my gosh, that's
so I was like just shaking because I was nervous for that. I think
I would be too.
But I'm like, I remember after my C-section, I was like shaking, but I think that's because they give you like other stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember I was just like shaking so much, and my husband Cam, he's like, do you need a blanket? Are you cold? I'm like, no, I'm just like,
you're like nervous, shaking. Yeah.
And like, I'm just like, and we're watching like Jumanji or something, whatever's on the TV. And I'm like, I just can't control it. Like, I'm fine, but
that was so funny.
It was weird.
Okay. So when it was time for you to deliver, did you have the mirrors? Like, did you have them like?
No.
Yeah, I wasn't about that either. I'm like, don't put them down. Some people like that. They're like, it's like empowering and motivation. I'm like, no.
Oh, some people even like reach down and grab their baby out.
Yes.
And I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I love my son dearly.
Yeah.
But like, even the fact, like, after he came out, I was in awe. I loved him, but I was like, please wipe him down a little bit.
Sure.
Before laying him on my chest.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
No, I don't think that's bad. I think everybody's so different and everybody likes something different. And I think that's fair. They have like a lot of gunk on them when they come out.
They're a little gross.
Yeah. Okay.
Precious
so
angels, but gross.
Precious little cuties. Okay. So then, you pushed, and did you have to push for a long time?
No, I pushed for like, I think maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, great.
15, 20. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. And then he came out perfect. How much did he weigh?
He weighed 7 pounds, 9 ounces.
Okay,
21 inches.
That's a great size and long.
Yeah.
Little long baby.
Yeah, we're tall. So I was really glad that actually he came 3 weeks early because I don't know what.
Yeah, you're like, how big would it?
Yeah. So
that's
happy about all that.
Okay, I love that. Well, tell me just a little bit about your recovery.
It was fine. I feel like I didn't really know what to expect. Like, because I mean, of course, people are like, oh, it's painful and you're healing and blah, blah, blah. But like, you don't really know like what you're going to feel.
Yes.
So like I tore pretty bad. So that was uncomfortable. It felt like it took a while to heal.
Yeah.
And sitting down hurt anywhere.
Ouch.
So that was unfortunate. But my husband was super great. Like even when we got home from the hospital, I got into the shower and he was like, don't bend over for anything. I'll pick anything up for you. And he just like.
A true king.
He is. And he like stayed there. We were living at the time in my in-laws' basement apartment.
Yeah.
So it has the shower with the slide door. And he just like had half of it open. He just stood there with like Wells next to him. And he's like, I'm just going to stand right here in case you need me.
Cute.
And I was just like, okay. He's the best.
Wait, I
him.
love that.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Is there anything like with your hospital, your birth or your recovery, like things that you would do different for the next time?
Epidural.
Yeah,
faster,
epidural
that's one.
sooner.
I mean, honestly, it was apart from that like hour that hurt so bad, it was like a great experience. I loved the
Good.
whole day. It was really, really nice. I loved like the time frame of it all. Like I loved being able to expect what I was going into.
Yes.
And I mean, other than that, I think I would change my packing probably.
Okay, yeah. What did you bring too much stuff? Not enough? Or not the right things?
Yeah. So like I followed a lot of people that were also pregnant at the time, watched all of their packing videos.
Which I love those videos.
I do too. I even to this day watch them.
Oh, same.
I'm not pregnant right now.
No, I'm like, I live for like people packing. I'm like, tell me what you're bringing.
It's so much fun. I loved it. So I watched a ton of them.
Yeah.
And I would say like, I think I would bring a blanket from home just because they're so scratchy.
Yes.
They're not comfortable. I mean, it's not like you're sleeping that much anyways, but you want to be comfy.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. And then we brought a ton of snacks and I didn't really eat that many.
Yeah.
So I'd probably bring less of that. I don't know. It's not necessarily like packing too much or packing too little, just like changing it up.
Yes. No, that totally makes sense. Cause I'm like, from my first to my second, it like, I don't know, having a second so nice because I feel like you have some sort of idea on how things might go, at least like a better indication. So you're like, oh, I liked this last time, or like, oh, I wish that I would have had that. So I'm like, number 2, I'm like, you really get it.
And you had a C-section in the second one too.
I did.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 C-sections.
I feel like the only thing I'm nervous about is that it's unpredictable.
Oh, you can't plan. You can't like truly, you can't plan a ding ding thing.
No. And like, I hear stories from like my sister-in-law and other people where they're like, oh yeah, one, the epidural worked great. The other one, it never took. And I'm like, that frightens me.
Yeah.
To my core.
Oh yeah. So, I'm like, it's wild.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me about the mom you hope to be. And this is like kind of a tough question. So I'm like, I'm putting you on the spot.
No, it's fine. I have a lot of great mom figures in my life between like my sisters, my sister-in-laws, mother-in-laws, and my mom, of course. Jumping back a little. So my mom passed away from cancer. So she has not, it's been like 6 years.
Yeah.
So she wrote all of us kids like notes that she knew that we would like miss opportunities like wedding and kids. And
that's
all that.
Like really tender.
It was really great. So when we got to the hospital, I brought the note of when you have your first baby.
Yeah.
So I brought that with me. And Cam, unfortunately, he didn't meet my mom, so he doesn't know her, but he's heard about her and he's, seen pictures and we've talked about her, so I feel like he knows her that way. We went to the hospital and he read to me, because I couldn't, I was a mess.
Yeah.
But he read to me the note that my mom wrote to me for like when I had my first baby. And it was like the most wonderful experience. So I just think like she's like the best example of the mom I want to be. Like she's just so selfless. And I feel like she always like just went about life laughing about everything. So she didn't take it too seriously. And I need to be more like that, because sometimes I worry about dumb little things. And she just, I feel like, went about with life so gracefully and just, I don't know.
So I love that. What a beautiful legacy. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And so special that like for something, I don't know, it's always like kind of a interesting transitional when you're like, okay, yeah, I know my mom loves me so much, but then like having your own kids like that, then you really realize. So I'm like, I bet that was such a special moment to hear her words and like have that letter and have her be a part of that like huge special day for you.
It was so much. It was great because then I could like kind of picture her tone of voice saying it to me, and it was cute. Cam was even getting emotional, and he's never met her, but like just reading the note like he knew. I don't know. It was a really cool experience. So, but anyways, she's the mom I aspire to be.
Hey, I love that. No, that's so special. What advice would you give to anybody that is about to have a baby or about to give birth?
I'd say like plan, but also plan the unexpected.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because it's nice to have a plan, and I'm a planner, you're a planner. Like it's nice to know like what I'm putting in my hospital bag and, what car seat I'm going to get. Things like that you can plan.
Yeah.
But like things that you can't plan, just let it go.
I love that.
I don't know.
That's
don't,
such
focus too much
advice.
on it.
Such good advice. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining today.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Okay, we'll see y'all next time.